Have you ever found yourself trapped in the labyrinth of your thoughts, unable to escape the relentless cycle of overthinking? Imagine your mind as a busy highway, with thoughts like cars zooming by. Now, instead of letting the cars pass, you get stuck on one, obsessing over it, examining it from every angle. This, my friends, is the essence of overthinking. It's when you dwell on problems, replaying your mistakes, or worrying about the future to the point where it starts to take a toll on your life. Overthinking is like a hamster on a wheel, running in circles but getting nowhere. It drains your mental energy, increases your stress levels, and can even lead to anxiety and depression. It's like being in a constant state of worry, where you're always expecting the worst and preparing for it, even when there's no real threat. And the truth is, we've all been there. Whether it's fretting over a work presentation, replaying an awkward conversation, or worrying about a health scare, overthinking is a part of the human condition. It's a byproduct of our brain's incredible ability to think, plan, and problem solve. But why do some of us fall into the trap of overthinking more than others? Well, there are several reasons. For one, it could be a coping mechanism to deal with stress. For others, it might stem from an underlying mental health issue like anxiety or depression. And sometimes it's just a matter of personality. But here's the rub. Overthinking doesn't solve our problems. If anything, it compounds them. It's like trying to find your way out of a maze by walking in circles. You're not making progress, you're just tiring yourself out. So, as you see, overthinking is a common yet complex problem. But don't worry, as we're about to delve into some effective strategies to manage it. To tackle overthinking, we first need to understand it. Overthinking is like a hamster on a wheel, constantly running but never really getting anywhere. It's the act of dwelling on things too much, often leading to a cycle of negative thinking that can be hard to break. So what's happening in our brains when we overthink? Well, it's a bit like a traffic jam. Our thoughts get stuck, going round and round without a clear way forward. This can happen when we're faced with a problem or decision, and we can't seem to find a solution. The science behind overthinking is linked to our fight-or-flight response. It's our brain's way of trying to protect us from danger. But when we overthink, we're essentially tricking our brains into thinking there's a threat when there isn't one. This can lead to feelings of anxiety and stress, and if left unchecked, can become a chronic issue, affecting our mental health. Overthinking can also become a habit. Just like biting your nails or tapping your foot, once you start, it can be hard to stop. The more you overthink, the more your brain gets used to this pattern of thinking, making it harder to break the cycle. But here's the good news. Just as our brains can learn to overthink, they can also learn to stop. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt, means we can train our brains to think differently. We can learn to recognize when we're falling into the trap of overthinking and take steps to steer our thoughts in a more positive direction. Understanding overthinking is the first step towards managing it. We've delved into the science behind it, explored its links to anxiety and stress, and discussed how it can become a habit. Now let's move on to the practical steps you can take to break free from its chains. Now that we comprehend the concept of overthinking, it's time to break the cycle. Overthinking can feel like being trapped in a maze of your own thoughts, but don't worry, there are ways to navigate through. Let's delve into some techniques that can help manage overthinking. First up, mindfulness. This is the practice of focusing on the present moment, without judgment. It's about experiencing the world directly as it is, rather than through the lens of our thoughts. So, how do you do this? Well, start small. Try focusing on your breath for a minute at a time, or really pay attention to the taste of your food during meals. The goal here isn't to empty your mind, but to anchor yourself in the present moment and break free from the overthinking cycle. Next, there's meditation. This isn't just for monks in the mountains, it's a powerful tool that anyone can use. Meditation helps you develop a different relationship with your thoughts. Instead of getting caught up in them, you learn to observe them from a distance. You can start with just a few minutes a day. There are plenty of guided meditations available online to help you get started. Then we have cognitive restructuring. This is a fancy term for changing the way you think. It's about challenging those automatic negative thoughts that fuel overthinking. Let's say you're worried about a presentation at work. Instead of thinking, I'm going to mess up and everyone will laugh, you might reframe it as, I'm prepared and I'm going to do my best. It's not about blind optimism, but about realistic and balanced thinking. Lastly, distraction techniques. These can be useful when you're caught in a spiral of overthinking and need a quick way out. This could be anything that shifts your focus and engages your mind in a different way. It might be doing a crossword puzzle, going for a run, or even playing with your dog. The key here is to find something that works for you. Incorporating these techniques into your daily life might seem daunting at first, but remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Start small and gradually build up. You might find it helpful to set aside specific times each day for mindfulness or meditation, or you could use cognitive restructuring whenever you notice yourself falling into the overthinking trap. Over time, these techniques can help you gain more control over your thoughts. You'll likely find that you're not only thinking less, but also thinking more effectively. After all, it's not about eliminating thoughts, but about cultivating a healthier relationship with them. Remember, these techniques require consistency and practice. It's not about stopping overthinking overnight, but about gradually gaining control over your thoughts. So take a deep breath, and let's start this journey together. You're not alone, and with these tools in hand, you're well equipped to break the cycle of overthinking. But managing overthinking isn't just about techniques, it's also about lifestyle modifications. Picture this: you're a car, and overthinking is the extra weight you're carrying around. Techniques to manage overthinking are like your GPS, guiding you to your destination. But even the best GPS can't help if your engine isn't running smoothly or your fuel tank is empty. This is where lifestyle modifications come into play. They ensure that your engine is well maintained and your fuel tank is full, allowing you to drive smoothly and efficiently. Let's start with a balanced diet. It's not just about maintaining a healthy weight or looking good. The food we eat directly affects our brain function. Consuming a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can enhance our mental well-being, making it easier to manage overthinking. It's like giving your car the best quality fuel. Next, we have regular exercise. Working out isn't just for bodybuilders or athletes. Exercise releases endorphins, our brain's feel-good neurotransmitters, which can help reduce anxiety and improve mood. Think of it as a natural tune-up for your brain, helping to keep your engine running smoothly. Now, on to adequate sleep. In our fast-paced society, sleep is often the first thing we sacrifice. But lack of sleep can lead to increased stress and anxiety, making overthinking even worse. Getting a good night's sleep is like giving your car a much-needed rest after a long drive. Last but not least, let's talk about social connections. We're social creatures by nature, and having strong relationships can significantly improve our mental health. It's like having a supportive pit crew, always ready to help when things get tough. A healthy lifestyle is the foundation of a healthy mind. Incorporating these lifestyle changes can significantly help in reducing overthinking. And just like maintaining a car, it's not a one-time thing. It's about making small, consistent changes that can lead to big results. So, are you ready to revamp your lifestyle and put the brakes on overthinking? Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. Overthinking is not merely a habit, but a complex conundrum that many of us grapple with. It's essential to understand its roots, to effectively manage it. It's not about stopping thoughts, but channeling them in a productive direction. We've delved into various techniques to manage overthinking, like mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, and grounding exercises. These tools can help us shift our focus from negative thoughts to constructive ones, fostering a more positive mental environment. We also discussed lifestyle modifications that can significantly impact our overthinking tendency. Regular physical activity, balanced nutrition, adequate sleep, and nurturing healthy relationships are some of the key elements to consider. To sum up, understanding overthinking, implementing the right techniques to manage it, and making necessary lifestyle changes form a comprehensive approach to keep overthinking in check. Remember, the journey to conquer overthinking is a marathon, not a sprint. But with patience, consistency, and the right strategies, you can certainly win this race. Until next time, keep the overthinking at bay.